looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find was the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with an Earth 2 Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. So guys, it has been a heck of a weekend. I did go live a little bit this morning. You guys are looking a little. There we go. A little cloudy. That looks to be a little bit better. So I just came over from the Guidebook Gaming place where they had mentioned a couple of plays like the Written Word, E2 updates, My Name is Human podcast, just a couple of places that just, if you don't like video, if you don't like watching or listening, and you're just more about the written word, definitely go to them. They're very cool. Outside of that, what I did want to go over today is collectibles at large and how I think Earth 2 and Veve will benefit. Obviously, they have the name in Veve Collectibles, especially on Twitter. That being said, I'm going to start off with Earth 2. I mentioned this morning with E2 trading cards. Now, the first official NFT for Earth 2 was the Easter eggs. I'm still not sure if people have those. I'll pay $100 for each one. If you have them right now, let's talk on like Discord, let's talk on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, Twitter. That's something that collectors in the future will definitely be looking for, because that was the first official one. However, if we go off menu, we go secret menu, if we go to the actual real history of the world is the history of a privileged few, we do have E2 trading cards. Like I said, yeah, you got Predict, you got King Tech Ops, you got Nameless, you the real Randy Chavez, you got Aria Realty, Earth 2 Meta, just everyone. You have Shane himself, the developers themselves, and that's something that is, even though it wasn't released by Earth 2, it does have the Earth 2 official logo. It do have Shane's blessing and everyone else's blessing. So I think those have a couple of elements of rarity to it. They are the first, so they're going to be the oldest. You don't really have mints, like one's not minter than another. One is just, they're all the same because they can't be damaged. But that being said, a lower mint number, meaning that it's more valuable, it's a little bit rarer. Well, I guess the rarity is the same, but it's just more valuable because it's a low serial number. So the older, the less of them, the rarer, the lower the mint number, the better. And you have so many to choose from. You could either collect all number 10s, or that's going to be very hard. Number 50s, number 1s. Wraithax, I believe, has the biggest number 1 collection in the world. He's got mine. I think he's got like 10 of them, or 12 of them, 20 of them. It's crazy. So that's something that I think in the future is going to be really kind. A lot of collectors are going to want the first of everything, like first edition Pokemon cards, first appearance of certain Pokemon, first holos of certain Pokemon. Let's say Haunter from the Fossil set. There was a Haunter in base set, but it wasn't holo. But there's a Haunter in the Fossil set that's holo. So things like that, or first appearances. Like if season 1 or the first part of the, not crypto drop, yeah, of the NFT drops for Earth 2, if somebody wasn't mentioned there or wasn't there, but they're in season 2, if they're in the second part, then that's going to be worth something, even though it's not the first season, just because of the first appearance of that person. The same way Veve Collectibles, you can tell by the thumbnail, so many Batman people have their collect. They have multiple collectibles. They're selling out partly because a lot of people are buying 3 and 5 and sometimes a dozen of these copies, which is insane. But you also have the fact that in the future, there's going to be millions of people. Again, I believe, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do believe that there's going to be a mass adoption of the Veve app. And obviously with that, you're going to burn more Omi. I've been thinking about, there's this guy called Cryptos Are Us. I believe that's his name. He always says, I'm George, we are all George. He focuses mostly on Bitcoin, but he does do other altcoins, and he goes live twice a day, same as I do. But the difference with him is that he saves all of his super chats and stuff for the end, and he does go over every super chat. And I do want to put in like a $10 or $100 super chat saying, look into Omi. What are your thoughts about Omi? Because like 50,000 people watch him. So why I would do that is because if he does look into it, that's going to bring an extra 50K people that maybe aren't necessarily collectibles. They're not collectors. They're just people that are going to invest. So right now, after San Diego Comic-Con, that's going to be mass adoption for the Veve app. I don't know how many people on there will actually invest. To be honest, a lot of people that go to Comic-Con Yeah, they do have a couple hundred. A lot of them save for whatever Comic Con they go to, and they'll spend a couple $100s on Funko Pops or whatever. I have a Vegeta jacket that I got in New York Comic Con, all these different things, and that's usually what it's for. They save for the tickets, they save for the hotel, they save for the airfare, they save for all of this. So a lot of people that go to Comic Con, they go to only a couple of different Comic Cons each year because that's really all they can afford. So I don't know how many of them are going to be buying Omi, but I guarantee you a lot of them will be buying all these Veve collectibles. Again, we have Superman. It's in season 2, but it is the first Superman drop. That means something. Like that matters. That is the OG. That is the most powerful person in anime, in comic books. Again, I don't have it right. I can't see it right now, but I have a Dragon Ball Z tattoo of the Royal Saiyan crest because I love Saiyans. I love Vegeta. I love Goku. I love how they push past their limits for every encounter that they have. But Superman has no limits. Depending on which age you go to, he can sneeze and wipe out an entire universe. It's insane. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of different people. A lot of different people are going to go for him. So anyway, guys, I will get into the chat in a minute, but I just want to say that as far as collectibles go, both Earth 2 and Veve, I believe, are going to be huge just on the collectible aspect. Not even including gameplay. I'm not including gambling. I'm not including the warring world. I'm not including any of that. I'm just including collectibles. That's why they'll be big. Again, just my opinion. And then obviously when the Earth 2 crypto comes out, whether it's Essence or it's Jewels or whatever, or you have Omi on the Veve side. By the way, I do have 10 million Omi now. So, 10 million Omi for me. That is definitely a big milestone for me. Obviously, over the course of the next few months, I aim to get like 30, 40 million Omi just because I want to sell that big card. I'm trying. I swear to God, I'm trying. All right, moving on to what we got here. Wes says, do you think the Veveverse could be bigger than Earth 2? Not and no, probably not. Just because Veveverse is, it's mostly just about collectibles. Yes, there will be some gameplay at some point. That will be in the future, though. I always think that Veve will be behind a little bit as far as gameplay because Phase 2 is going to come out, if not this month, in the next couple of months for Earth 2. So Veveverse will, they're not going to have things like Optimus Prime riding a T-Rex or, like Bubbles fighting a My Little Pony for a couple of years. So it's going to take a while. It's going to happen, and there is going to be mass adoption on the gameplay level, but I think that Earth 2 will always actually be ahead as far as that, just because they started first and just because they have Phase 2 coming first, where they're just a little now, could that change over the years? Sure. Could it change? I mean, both are in virtual reality. Both are very disruptive. And I think the advantage that Veve has over Earth 2 is the fact that it is what collectibles first, and they have lots of money flowing in every single week. It's like if Earth 2 opened up a new country every week. Obviously, they have $100,000 a day going into it, or hundreds of thousands of dollars a day going into it. A lot of it into South Korea, which is insane. But so Veve does have, I think, a little more money going into it, and their coin is already announced. They have Omi, it's deflationary coin. Earth 2, there's still that variable where we're not sure exactly what it's going to do, when it's going to be announced, how much it'll be. I'm going to do deep dive analysis when the tokenomics come out for that. So maybe, but right now I would lean towards only them having a 40% chance, 35 to 40% chance of being bigger than Earth 2. Just my opinion. Brendan Z says, I think Veve has got better utility for their metaverse, but who knows, because resources could be big, I guess. I mean, yeah, just to remind me, San Diego Comic-Con, that's going to bring a lot of people into Veveverse. That's going to bring a lot of people into, but again, that's just the collectibles. So I don't know. Again, they might get bored without gameplay, without other things than just showing them in a room, which again is fun. You can show them in your room. You can show them in augmented reality, but that's something that I'm not 100% sure how much it'll bring. I know it'll bring a lot of nerds, and they might all buy, here and there. But consistent money like that, little harder. Vasilio says, Veve has the advantage that it has somewhat of a product, and E2 doesn't. We are still waiting. He continues on to say, for E2 to be big, we the pioneers have to be advocates for it once there's a fully functioning world. Well, to build on that, and doesn't actually need to be fully functioning. Like for partial gameplay for building or mining resources, that's coming within the next couple of months. So we have that already, or we're going to have that in the next couple of months, and that should satisfy some people for a little bit. I mean, they are still working on phase 3. But that's going to be a long time. But phase 2 will be in parts. Obviously, phase 3 will come probably a couple years down the line. But part 1 of phase 2, part 2 of phase 2, this and that, and so on and so forth. Basilo said, I'm also sure E2 will have its own publicist that will make the news of this virtual world known to the mainstream. It's not time for that just yet. The advertising they did on Facebook was to grab the attention of visionaries like us that would get on board early. Thank you guys for 10 likes. Yes and no. I mean, there's already so many people on, Earth 2 News. They have Guidebook Gaming. They have me, Ari Realty, Bowl Combo makes a video every week. So they do have a lot of people coming out with content every single day. And like I said, if I think My Name is Human podcast, when I was on them, they had asked if you had any advice for Earth 2, what would it be? And it would be to have 1 or 2 people to consume every single piece of content that they have out there that makes it on Earth 2. Now, I would have stressed them out the other day if they had that, because I streamed for like 5.5 hours, 6 hours. So, yeah, that would have been a little hard for them. That they would have gotten their paychecks that day. But yeah, for the most part, that's going to be harder and harder to do, because as more and more people get involved, especially like, the South Korean team, especially when we have us actually building things, when you have Ziggurat City, when you have all of these amazing mega cities come out, it is going to be impossible to keep up with everything. I'll try as best as I can. To be honest, I'm going to be mostly covering Chavez and expansion there, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of things, or a lot of different places that I just won't be able to cover. I'll try. I'll do my best. I mean, I guess that'd be a good goal. Cover everything. Stream, do like a 10-hour stream, something like that. I don't know. When Fei 2 Dumpling Kingdom says they forgot about the real Randy Chavez. I love that video so much. Go and look at the it's a video of mine with a Tesla Kila bottle. That is one of my favorite videos that I did. It was just I felt so inspired that day. It's great. Adam Boisvert says, what do you think about the video that came out about Aria Realty? Which one? There's so many of them. Basilo says they're only popularizing him. Bad publicity is no publicity. Yeah, I think there's no such thing as bad publicity, and he's making more money. He's playing it right. He's playing politics. He's playing politics. He's like, hey, let's have a feud, and they're having a feud, and they're both benefiting. I think Aria Realty is benefiting a little more, just because a level 5 Pokemon grows a lot quicker than a level 50 Pokemon. I'm just comparing Aria Realty to Upper Echelon Gaming, that's already got like 400-something thousand subscribers. Aria Realty's got like 5,000 subscribers. So yeah, he'll grow a lot quicker and be more beneficial to him. Yeah. Adam Boisvert says, even the video that point out the fact that he tried to get a nude from a girl on Discord. Yes, he asked for a link to someone's OnlyFans that had an OnlyFans. He asked for a nude from somebody that takes nudes. Well, I don't know what's on their OnlyFans, so I don't know if there was actually nudes on there, or if it's just lewds. But yeah, just my God, asking for someone for a nude that potentially takes nudes for at least partial living. That fiend. When Fei 2 Dumpling says publicity like that doesn't tend to work out these days. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get Aria Realty like hashtag canceled or anything. He's not big enough for that. No offense, Steve. No offense, Steve, if you're there. Not sure it's a good publicity. I mean, again, anything's good for. He's making money, and he doesn't. He does YouTube really for fun. Does it supplement his income? Sure. The way to YouTube supplements my income. Every little thing supplements. Every little thing helps. But his idea of fun, like, again, this is fun for him, like back and forth. Like, would it be as fun for me? I mean, something to talk about. It'd be something to bring up at the dinner table, like, oh, this person made a video about me. Yeah, I don't know. But for him, again, you can't rattle him. You can't make him feel bad. He's a veteran like me. It's not anything that he's gonna like. You can't bully him into submission. It's just not gonna happen. Vasilo said some of us are just meant to be notorious. Notorious B.I.G. Jerome Hueze says, hey, Randy. What's going on, Jerome? Ari Realty says, hello, Dashi. Ari Realty, we were just talking about you. All good things, all good things. Everyone comment, Froze. No, who's that? What's his name from Frozen? The snowman, Olaf. Everyone comment Olaf down below. Wenfei 2 Dumpling Kingdom says, oh, well, he will have to explain the context. Do you know him to be like that, Randy? He's a great guy. Again, so just from what I know, again, obviously three sides to every story, but just from what I know, that the girl he asked for news from had an OnlyFans, and the part where he had there was some roasting going on. They were in a roast group. Right? I mean, I'm in many groups like that on Facebook and on Facebook Messenger, that just in roast groups. And honestly, just being a veteran in general, I have heard so many times like the horrible but fun, again, YouTube or Facebook vet humor or vet TV. There's a whole like segment out there specifically for veteran humor, because it's not clean. It's not like or it's not like old school Bill Cosby. Where it's clean. It's not. It's very dirty. It's very raunchy, and that's part of the veteran community. That's just never gonna go away. Like post 9/11 veterans have this thing about them where we're just again, you can't insult, like, because we're facing death every day. Like it's not a it's not a thing where that's how we cope a lot. So, but yeah, he's a really good guy. He's one of the best. Like I said, I would not be going into business with him next year unless I didn't 100% trust him, 1,000%. Basilio says, as long as people don't start messing with my family, we're good. Yeah, same here, Basilio. I think that's a I think that's a I think that's with everyone, you get that like mama and papa bear, like, I just want SpongeGar, but, that type of deal. Jerome Hueza said, hey, Arya, glad to you, man. I think it means glad to meet you. MC Burger Pan says, Komi gonna moon. That took a little for my brain to register. I said, EC Omi? I was like, oh, Komi. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't. I am trying to get. I'll take $250,000 for this card right now. I'll do it. I'll do it. Why? Because I want to put so much more into Omi. And also, so be advised, guys, that SEC basically came out and they said that they have no, they don't want to retail or like curtail crypto in any way. Came out and said like, no, it's a free thing. It's a private property. They don't want to curb it in any way. So that's why that, in conjunction with Tesla saying we'll accept Bitcoin again in the future. Bitcoin's gone from like 30,000 to like 40,000 in like the last couple of days. So it's up like 20 something % the past week. And you're going to see a lot of altcoins go up in conjunction with that. Omi hasn't yet. So I am very happy about that. It gives me a little more time to buy before it moons. So I'm trying to get as much as I can. Jerome Ways, I said, I really need to look at those NFTs. They look so cool. Yeah, they're amazing. They're great. How I Made says, hey, Randy, why does CoinGecko say there's 191 billion Omi circulating, but we're told there's 166 billion all the burn happening? So there was 168 billion. I do have to check it now. Maybe someone liquidated some of their, maybe one of the owners, one of the early investors liquidated some of their. I would have to be a bunch of people liquidating, so that doesn't make sense. Because let's say like the top 100 people, let's say they have a couple billion each. Yeah, I mean, if you have a third of them liquidating half their positions, which this would be a really stupid time to do. Again, maybe it's mistaken. I will look at that and I'll do a stream on it tomorrow, figure out why. Or maybe that's the reason why but the burn that's happening is not from the float. The burn that's happening is from the Veve app. So all like the 5.6 billion that we've burned so far has been from the Veve app. They haven't done any buybacks yet. When they do, they will take from the they will take from the float. So I don't know how much they're going to do, but we'll see. How I Made says, I was just watching crypto runs right now till you came on. Crypto are us. Oh, so they were. Okay, so glad I mentioned them. Like I said, I will, when I do get as much as I want, like that 40 million in Omi, I will go on Cryptos Are Us and just start spamming them with super chats like Omi. Just because, again, a lot of people watch them. And I guarantee you, if he goes, I don't know if he has time, but if he does go and look into it, he might not even waste his time because it's such a small coin right now. But if he does, he will I guarantee you he invests. Guarantee it. Because it is a very good project. And great minds think alike. And I pat myself on the back a little bit. I assume he's pretty rich. He gets like $1,000 super chats. It's pretty ridiculous. So I assume he's pretty rich, and he's probably retired right now. I hope he is. It'd be pretty insane to do 2 streams a day plus work full-time job plus he has kids. That'd be crazy, but yeah, I will. Is Comic-Con virtual this year? Says Mike Wiggins. Mike Wiggins, San Diego Comic-Con is virtual this year. So it's going to be one of the biggest ones because you have people that would normally go, and then you have people that wouldn't go because there's no room. They'll be virtual. So it'll be one of the biggest ones. New York Comic-Con is not virtual. Dragon Con is not virtual. Those are the other big 2. So it's about as good as it can get for Veve. San Diego is usually top 1 or 2. It goes back and forth with New York, but for the last couple of years, I think it has been number 1. So being at the number 1 Comic-Con virtual, that's going to be pretty sick. It's going to be pretty amazing. And I don't know if they're going to be at Dragon Con or at New York Comic-Con, but if they are at one, glad they're at San Diego, and see what happens from there. How I Made says, showing off JPEGs in a VR or a showroom is boring to me. NFT and OMI need more utility. And they will get it, but they, again, the technology, I guess, is not there right now. I don't know, it has to do with coding, development, probably the if and let statements. Yeah, it'd probably take a while to do that, probably the arrays too. But once they are able to do that, again, that's going to take some time. So right now, unfortunately, some people are going to find it boring. Just got to have a little patience with it. But again, as right now, they are collectibles. And I was going to have one of my thumbnails be a Pokemon card, just because I've seen this before. Like I know collectibles, specifically high-end collectibles, but I know how they think. I know what they're all about. I know there's 2 different people. Yeah, there's some that like the thing and they buy to invest. There are some people that do not care about the thing that they're collecting. There are some people that are cross collectors from sports cards or Magic the Gathering, and they'll buy Pokemon cards just because they know of it, just because they want that top of the mountain. There are art collectors that come in. I guarantee you that's going to happen with Veve and Earth 2 as well. We have some collectors that not even going to know what the hell they are, not going to know what they're collecting, but oh, there's $100,000? Sure, buy, because that's nothing to them. Like if you're coming in from art, that when you're spending like 8, 9 figures on something, yeah, $100,000 not. A lot of collectors probably won't touch it though, just because it's so new. But again, this is kind of a new frontier, so it might take a few years, but see what happens. Crystal Shroud, hello, saying aha, Olaf is the best. Yes, Jerome, yes he is. Crystal Shroud says, hello, missed being here the last few days. Yes, Crystal Shroud, I have missed you as well. I did a couple of pretty legit live streams on Sunday. Both of them Sunday morning. One was like late at night. The other was like early in the morning. One was 3.5 hours. One was like hour and a half. It was crazy. It was awesome. We had a great time. Vittoria Jean Pascal says, it seems Hot Shots value and people thrill decreased a lot recently. You mean NBA Top Shots? I think that's what you mean. To me, Veve has better products thanks to 3D. You can interact, magnify, and look closer with them than with the real statue. Yeah, agreed 100%. Vittoria Jean Pascal says, nonetheless, for now, few Veve collectibles are overrated, but long-term, maybe not. Yeah, you do have things that are... I mean, right now, they might be overrated, but again, we have what? 250, like 300-something thousand users? That is not a lot. That will grow exponentially, and I can't wait for Thursday. I can't heckin' wait. How I Made says, Crypto RS mentioned Omi a few times. Oh, has he really? It's a lot of Omi homies that spams the chat. Wait, oh my god, I have to look at that. Crypto RS mentioned Omi. What did he say about it? I have to like end this and I have to go watch. Wow, that's insane. So he's definitely a holder. He's definitely a hodler. He's probably keeping it on the DL right now until it gets bigger, but wow, yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, NBA Top Shots. Yeah, those guys have slowed down a bit. I think just because they grew too much too quickly. They were hyped, and now they're not hyped. They shook out some of the weak hands. They're probably waiting for it to go up. Again, that's one of the first of its kind, and Veve is the first of their kind. But Veve hasn't been overhyped. It hasn't been overplayed. Sure, there's people that are going and making videos about it, like me, like Taps Trays, like non-fungible wonderful, and all that, Cabell Anderson. But nobody I've seen that has, or maybe that one guy that put like 150 grand in when it was like a penny, and he has like 16 million. I was like, oof, oof. He put that money in when it was a penny. He's probably dollar cost average down now at this point, or he's bought like a half a penny, third of a penny, and down below. I hope he has at least, but either way, that's gonna, even though that looks really bad right now, that's gonna look like a really good investment next year, end of this year. It's gonna look great, guarantee it. Vittorio Jean Pascal says, yeah, sure, 3D NFTs need to be displayed in holographic displays, such as Looking Glass Portrait, $250. For now, NFTs are still abstract, but then, happy face. Yeah, that's what I plan to have on Earth 2 as well, that cross-platform for NFTs, just have a museum with that. Me and Raythak's going in on that. A lot of them are going to be for Earth 2 NFTs, as for the trading cards or for the Easter eggs. But when they are able to cross-platform, that's what I believe it's going to go to as well. Tesla had a really good day as well. Just going to, I don't know, I think because Tesla holds a lot of Bitcoin, like 1.3 Bitcoin, something like that, or $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. They had a really good day today because their Model Y was, their demand for Q3 is Q3 is already sold out, and we're only at the end of Q2. And in Q3, we are going to have Giga Austin on board, and then comes Q4, we have Giga Texas. So I expect Tesla to maybe not double. Honestly, this time next year, I expect Tesla to, by the end of 2022, I expect Tesla to be over $1 trillion company. They will do that. That is my prediction, and I'm usually not wrong. So come back to me at the end of 2022. How I Made says, George mentioned Omi a few months ago when it was hot. Also, BitBoy made a video on Omi, but he didn't invest at the time. Oh, these are interesting. These are good quality people. BitBoy and I wonder if, yeah. So there's a couple of people that I used to follow for stocks, and of course I never listened. I just always kept buying Tesla. But yeah, some people, like, if they mention it when it's hot and then it goes down, they like don't mention it for a while, and then when it starts to get hot again, they'll mention it again. So as it starts to go and go and to get that upper echelon of growth there, we'll probably see it mentioned again by Crypto R Us and BitBoy. I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. Again, I can't say I watch every episode of the guy. I don't. I do watch him though for a lot of Bitcoin updates, and that's pretty much about it. Yeah. BitBoy. Oh yeah. So I do have to. I haven't watched as much BitBoy. I should, because I know that a bunch of other people do, and BitBoy's been doing it a long time. But at some point, I will. I'll give like myself a day to go and watch a lot of his stuff. Torgene Pascal, when I mean holographic displays, I mean a device display 3D in your living room for decoration. It already exists, but not mainstream yet. Yes, I was talking about a virtual one for Earth 2, but yes, to have that in, I'm sure a bunch of richer people have it, just because a lot of richer people have bought NFTs for millions and millions of dollars, and they want to be able to show it off. So a virtual one like that, I think if I remember correctly, it might look like similar to like newspapers or pictures in Harry Potter, where it moves a little bit, or at least that's what I'm thinking for the NFTs for Veve, because it moves and interactive, which is great. But I haven't seen one in real life, so I actually don't know what they look like. Comment down below if you know what they do. If you know what they look like. How I Made says, George is notorious for only talking about coins when it's hot. Yeah, it's a lot of people. I've seen that with people that are into stocks. They don't talk about certain stocks when they're hot. I imagine the same thing is with Bitcoin as well, or any type of altcoin for that matter. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin, other altcoins. I think Ethereum is still technically called an altcoin. Anything that's not Bitcoin is. But yeah, I imagine that happening. It is about 30 minutes, so it's time for my 30-minute Patreon member shout-out. The tide is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be your number one. Alrighty then. That was some Blondie, but if anyone's ever seen the Hillary Duff or the Lizzie McGuire movie, that the song was in there as well. Crystal Stroud says, those physical NFT display cases are gorgeous. At least the ones I've seen. I want a few. They all have video display. Oh my god, I need one. I need one. Next check that comes in next Monday. Have to wait a week from now. Honestly, I shouldn't. So I was talking to Predict before. For those that don't know, she is the top player in Earth 2 that put in the most amount of money, like $340,000 or something like that. Just so many tiles. She's a great person. And we were talking about money. She's like, yeah, I'm so glad to see that like money hasn't changed you. Like you said, like for those of you that don't know, I don't have a bed. I just have a mattress on the floor. I love going to my girlfriend's house because she has a bed and I sleep really well there. But I like to live simply, and I also like to live humbly, and I like to save money. Why I'm in a apartment that's only $1,400 a month. And for those of you that are in like Arkansas or like Ohio or somewhere in the Midwest, $1,400 in Long Island, New York, is freaking cheap. Like it is bare bones cheap. Look for memes like that. But knowing that she's like, okay, well she's like, you're not allowed to get a Tesla until Omi reaches $1. I was like, well, that's gonna be a few years from now, potentially. But I if I'm doing like $1,400 a month now for rent, and I go and I move to Florida next year, and the rent is because my girlfriend's buying a house, and let's say I pay her I don't know, $900 in rent, and I save that $500 a month. It doesn't cover the cost of what I would have to pay for a Tesla and insurance, but it'll be pretty close, especially for the Cybertruck. If it was a Model Y, it probably would be really close. It probably would be something that is probably covered. But for now, it's I deserve it. Like I deserve something. Another comment. Crystal Stroud says, I have a mattress. It's new and wonderful, but some nights I still prefer sleeping on the floor. Am I weird? Probably. Yeah, well, I mean, what is weird? I mean, weird is just people that don't follow the norms of society. And yeah, I'm proud to go against them a lot because, normal people, average people are, well, average. How do you not be average? How do you get better than that? Well, a lot of times you have to do things that people aren't willing to do, that they don't do. And I went over this a lot on Sunday, and just a lot of people that try to keep up with the Joneses, a lot of people try to get these big houses that they don't need, like even though they can afford them. Like I don't know why a lot of people's mindset is like, all right, well, can I afford the payment? Like especially military, like that. For some people that's their first job, they have the first steady paycheck coming in, and they a lot of them get Dodge Chargers paying like 29% interest or something like that, and it's like, oh my god, this is robbery. But they're like, well, I can afford the payments. Like, yeah, but like that's half your pay. Like it's ridiculous when you go in enlisted and you're just, I've seen that so many times. And then 5 years down the road, that car is worth a fifth of what it's worth when they got it. And people saying like, well, yeah, I got this huge house, I deserve, like, because they can afford the payments. Like just because you can afford the payments on something doesn't mean you should get it. Like again, I would cringe if I had a 3-bedroom house for myself. I would want to rent out 2 of those bedrooms. I would. Again, like I said, it'd be pretty cringe, and I don't want to. I just would never do that. Even when Omi hits $1 and I'm a deca-millionaire, I have tens of millions of dollars, I'm just gonna have a normal size house. It's gonna be small. Well, I mean, as I get more things, and Florida, I'm allowed to have guns. New York, it's like impossible, legally. So, I mean, Florida, I get to have a lot more guns, and yeah, that'll be nice. I might have a separate room for them, and some other stuff, maybe some other physical collectibles, but for the most part, yeah, I don't want a huge house. Moving on. Vittori Jean Pascal says, for now, in terms of holographic displays, you have the Looking Glass portrait, which is $250, small frame, and the Voxon V1, $10,000, but Star Wars style. Well, I mean, that's kind of a big difference there. $250 or $10,000. Although $10,000 one's a Star Wars style. I also don't want to be the type of person like, oh, 10,000. Oh, maybe I will. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, if I am getting around that $10-20 million range by, let's say I cash out. I don't think I'll ever cash out fully, but cashing out at some point, filling some philanthropic goals. Yeah, that'd be great. I don't know at what point to stop though. I don't know at what point to say like, hey, this is enough. This is enough work. I mean, Aria Realty were talking about like when we would ever leave YouTube. And I might make a whole video about this, but the short answer for the 18 of you that's watching is that as long as there is stuff that I feel needs to be talked about, stuff that I feel like needs to be covered, stuff that I feel like is a good investment, I'll still have it. Maybe I won't stream twice a day when I am, having like $10-20 million and I have a bunch of these, wilderness areas that I have to take care of, that I have to make sure people aren't poaching on, they're not hunting on, and trying to save animals. Maybe I won't stream twice a day. Maybe I'll do like a once a day thing. Right now I'm still, I'm tired, but I'm still technically on the grind, trying to make a name for myself on YouTube, because that's what I want. I really want. Also, I feel very strongly about Earth 2. I feel